Hey everybody, good evening and welcome to another live stream with the one and only Suzette Speaks. I'm Suzette. I'm glad to see all of you. Today we're going to do a little bit of a compressed stream. I want to welcome you. I'm sorry, running a little late today, but I wanted to bring to your attention something that has been going on that I am very excited about, very nervous about, and wanting to, like I said, put it on your radar because there is going to be a lot of talk about it in the next few weeks. Of course, we are talking about the pick of the next Supreme Court Justice. Hey guys, I'm so glad you're hanging out. I know I'm going to be signing off in a little bit because I'm going over to Wealth Engineering's channel just shortly. So I had a longer day. I wanted to try to get some food and all this other stuff. And one thing gets away from you and then you have to kind of compress. So I'm excited. So if you want more, we're going to go over to Wealth Engineering's channel in just a moment, but I wanted to welcome you. Thank you for coming on. Please put your location in the chat. Welcome to those watching on the Let's Talk Justice platform over on Facebook, as well as everyone watching right here on YouTube. I want to thank you so much. My name is Suzette Speaks, television host and attorney, and I'm going to do a social justice topic today because we have a Supreme Court vacancy that has become apparent as of today. It has actually been officially announced. Justice Stephen Breyer will retire after about 25 years on the Supreme Court. And of course, the Supreme Court, as you guys have been hopefully been somewhat aware, is a very hot button issue right now because with all the cases that are coming up that will affect free speech, that will affect a woman's right to choose, and so many other critical, what we thought of as standard rights are going to be challenged. And the court is already right now, because of our former president, imbalanced, or it's not as liberal as it once was, or some would even say as fair as it once was. Right now, with the 9 justices, we have a 6-3 conservative margin. So a 6-3 conservative margin. I'm going to say hello to all of you. And what is interesting about this pick, President Biden has the opportunity to put a woman of color, and we're hoping an African-American woman, on the bench. There has never been an African-American woman on the Supreme Court of the United States. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like I said, this will be a condensed version. I'll probably come back on as the selection process. Once the nominee is placed forward, which won't be until probably the end of February, once the nominee is placed forward, we will have a lot to discuss when it comes to the approval process or the confirmation process. All right, so let me get to the chat. Welcome once again. Suzette Speaks here, coming in for a quick hello. This is my YouTube channel, so if you're watching on another platform, welcome. All of those watching on, like I said, the Let's Talk Justice show platform. I have over almost 1,000 some folks who like Let's Talk Justice. Then I wanted to get back to that topic as we get ready for the midterms this November. So if you are not familiar with that side of me, I want to welcome you to that. I love politics. I love social justice. I love talking about court cases here and there, but I want to do that at least once a week starting in February. So I'm going to be pushing a little bit more on the social justice side. Let me adjust this a little bit, see if y'all can see me a little bit better. I want to do a little bit more social justice forums when it comes to people running for office. Oh, just kidding. Let me try up again. Shout out to those of us who have to use the ring light. But when it comes to social justice, when it comes to issues that affect our community, particularly communities of color, particularly Black communities, all for it. Missing people. I've done a couple of wonderful shows, unfortunately, for Mia Marcano and others that were in the news but were less covered. There's a young lady right now in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I was following her story, and I may do a story on her or do a stream on her next week. But there's a lot of news, unfortunately, that we try to avoid, and I can understand that. You can get very, very overwhelmed listening to the news. But I also want to implore you to not look away and not put your head in the sand, not bury yourself, because it's so important that we do stay informed. And it's so important that we do make our voices heard when it's time to vote and when it's time to support serious issues. So I want to welcome you. Welcome one and all. I'm so glad that you're here. I am Suzette Speaks. Like I said, this is going to be a shortened stream because I have some business to take care of on Wealth Engineering's channel at 8 p.m. I'm cutting it kind of short today. But I also see the lead attorney is about to go live. So I thought to myself, what the heck? I'll still come on because most people will probably still go over to lead and watch some of the Tasha K debrief. But nonetheless, I want to talk about, issues that are important to me. So that always starts with personal development. And I want to announce, Saturday show 12, Saturday at 12, I will have none other than the kosher clinician. Whoa. The kosher clinician will be my special guest this Saturday. And we just decided on the topic, and the topic is going to be, does fatherlessness have an impact, or should I say a negative impact on relationships? Does fatherlessness, not growing up with a dad, from both the male and the female perspective, does it have a negative impact on healthy relationships? We're going to talk a little bit about that on Saturday. I'm so excited. He has a wonderful channel. Deep, brother. When he first sent me the topics he wanted to discuss, I was like, brother, this is like a thesis over here, bro. We only got an hour and a half, 2 hours. We can't go into every single area of concern for the Black family, but we're gonna go through some. We're gonna try again to use this platform, as he does on his platform, to educate and elevate, and to hopefully give you some tools that you normally won't have if you didn't grow up with a father. And I want to also kind of in that conversation dig a little deeper when it comes to not only physical and emotional, but cognitive impacts of fathers not being in the home. Because I hear so much talk about, people can raise kids by themselves. They don't need a dad. Not everyone thinks that way. But, when that argument is being raised, we got to really think about, what are we saying? We got to really think about what we're saying. So if you grew up without a dad, maybe you are a child of, parents who got divorced, or maybe you were a child of a single mom, there is no judgment in this conversation. I'm going to tell you straight up. But we are going to look at the impacts, because all of us are impacted by society, by our environment, right? And how it is going to play out sometimes we don't anticipate. And in our relationships where we need to be connecting, you don't want to fall short by not recognizing how this type of experience can have an influence on how you treat your future mate and how you operate in any relationship. So let's go. Kosher Clinician going to be on Saturday, 12 noon. I cannot wait. This Saturday, 12 noon. Set the reminder. I'm going to try to get the thumbnail down. Maybe not tonight, because I'm going on wealth engineering at 8 p.m. But I am going to look forward to Saturday's discussion. We're going to have a lot of time to sit and just kind of dig in there. Right? Y'all know I like to do it. Let me see who's saying what's up. Big up yourself. Hit the like button for a short and sweet stream today. Suzette Speaks here, talking a little bit of Let's Talk Justice. If you are a member of my Patreon, thank you. If you're not, what is going on? Thank you to all of you who have been so deep supporters. I can't even explain my gratitude. Thank you very much to all of my supporters on the Patreon. And if you like this kind of messaging, and if you also want a little BTS, I think I'm going to put a couple behind the scenes videos every now and then. But we're going to talk about personal development. And I'm going to have, I think, Wealth Engineering, who I'm going on his platform. He's going to be my guest. I think our date will be February 12th. With Wealth Engineering over on the Patreon. But how to get on the Patreon, go to patreon.com/Suzette Speaks. You see it right there. But let's talk a little bit, while I have a few minutes before I get over to Wealth Engineering, talk a little bit about this Supreme Court Justice vacancy that was just announced today. Justice Stephen Breyer, as I said, actually, let me say, I got to say hello to y'all. I can't even go into my topic. Let me say hello to my people. I can't just go into my topic. I got to say hello to the people. What's up, everybody watching? Thank you so much. RM was first today. Thank you so much, RM, one of my wonderful moderators. Hey, Lando, glad to see you. Like I said, there are a few people going live today. So I said, you know what? I'm a little late, but I'm still going to go over and say hi to my people. Great to see you. Yes, Wealth Engineering. We are on and popping for right after this. Wealth Engineering, glad to see you. Hey, Laz. Yes, your notifications work? Fantastic. Sometimes on YouTube, you have to unsubscribe and subscribe again. I don't know why it takes, certain people out of your algorithm. You got to like a couple videos. You got to do a few things. Sometimes right below a video, write a comment and like a couple of them, right? Or I say, hit the unsubscribe and then subscribe again real quick. Sometimes that will reset it. All right. Good evening to Mr. Gaston's World. Welcome, sir. Thank you to a fantastic content creator. I had shared one of your videos on my community page. I hope you saw that. Gaston's World was making amends, or, just kind of like moving forward with, I guess, a group of other content creators, and they had a disagreement. This can happen. And I like the way, sir, you stepped forward and you were the bigger person. And, sometimes we have to just, say, I'm sorry and get over it and move forward, practice that forgiveness. That's a theme of this channel. So I appreciate you, Gaston's World. Big up yourself. Thank you for moderating as well over here on the Suzette Speaks channel. Hey, Rose, how are you? Rose in the building. Appreciate you being here. Hope you're feeling better, my darling. Thank you for stopping in, even though I know you're recovering. Big up Sandy B. Wagwan. Nice to see you. I hope to have you on your podcast as a guest here. So let's set that up for February. I want you to chit chat, my darling. Fellow lady lawyer, love to see you. Represent for the 305. Hey, Doug, nice to see you. Patreon member Wagwan, just wanted to come through. Like I said, touch on this topic. I won't be able to do the deep dive that I wanted to, but we're going to come back to it. I just at least wanted to come on and see everybody, say what's up, and then we can go back to it at another time. Thank you, Sandy. Sandy says she digging it. Okay, it's a little different. Thank you, Lord. Had to switch it up. My whole, aura changes, when women, particularly Black women, like to switch up our hair. We feel a little saucy. So it's helping me. 757 in the building. What's good? Tell me where that is. 757 Big Bad Bull. Thank you. I saw your comment over on Uncle Stu, the old man on the blocks channel. And I didn't go and comment. I'm going to comment on it. Thank you for being over here. Fantastic job as a moderator over there. And he was very involved in the conversation I had. I had a wonderful time. Go check out my interview with Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. It was fun. And thank you, Big Bad Bull, for holding me down while I was over visiting with Uncle Stu on his channel. Thank you very much. 757 represent. Hey, Sunbreeze, Wagwan, how are you? Nice to see you. I know it's a lot of people going live, but don't worry. We're going to make this quick, and we are also going to go over to Wealth Engineering's channel. I'll be over there for a couple hours. So Wealth Engineering and I have a personal development and finance discussion plan for you tonight. So don't worry, you're not getting shortchanged. We're going over to Wealth Engineering's right after this at 8. So I can't wait to go over there. And like I said, I'll be in the passenger seat, and he'll be in the driver's seat, helping, you guys to hopefully get into the right mindset for finance, for financial growth. So we're going to take it there. Thank you, Wealth Engineering, for the invitation. I can't wait to go over and see you. Big up yourself. I want to say, hey, Dr. Terry. Oh, thank you. I'm trying a little something new. TB Trucking, I see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Who else? I just want to, hey, Boss Attorney Bree, I saw you. New from TLA. I saw you comment. Big up yourself, Boss Attorney, another lady lawyer. Can't wait to connect, sis. Thank you for coming over. Appreciate you. And I'm going to return the sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. It's always great to get new people from TLA and elsewhere. So if you're new, if you came from Uncle Stu, for example, the old man on the block, if you came from TLA, however we discovered each other, I want to welcome you. The Suzette Speaks platform, Big Up Yourself, Not Love, is about elevating your mind, elevating your spirit, elevating and learning to hopefully deal with like emotional health, right? Emotional intelligence, making sure you're looking at your relationships through different lenses. Sometimes, again, we're impacted by things that we don't really even recognize or fully acknowledge. So I like to go through, my own, past experiences and current experiences where I have had difficulty with, like I said, my mental health, my emotional state, and like many other lady lawyers and other professionals, who are brave enough to say, yo, I don't have it all together. I've had my rough patches. I'm still a work in progress. I'm still working on me. I like to make this a platform and a safe space where people can keep it real when it comes to the challenges and triumphs of life. So we get into deep conversations, but I also want to pivot a little bit for the folks who like a little bit of social justice and law. I'm going to go back to some of my Let's Talk Justice show streams. And I was doing that prior to the winter break. And I took a little break in January here, but I'm going to definitely pick that back up because there is so much, going on when it comes to the legal landscape, the social justice landscape of our country. That if for those of us who are passionate, or at least, I don't like the word woke, but, awake and seeing what's going on, if we stay silent, if the what they say, the moral majority or the silent majority is probably where I would probably call it. But folks who care about other people, folks who want fairness and equity, folks who see, that sometimes, the system, was it the Gettysburg Address? I think Justice Breyer quoted earlier, the gentleman on the Supreme Court who's retiring, 4 score and 7 years ago, our forefathers landed upon this oh, no, whatever, about building a new nation. Founded in the principle of liberty, and I'm paraphrasing, excuse me. And Justice Breyer had to paraphrase earlier too. I was like, I should have read it again. I had to memorize it though in like elementary school, but conceived a new nation based in liberty and the premise that all men are created equal. So if you are a believer of that principle and want to see us live in a society that reflects that principle, it is going to be incumbent upon us to call out situations when we see, no, that's not what's happening. And, evaluate it for ourselves, not through some of the talking heads that we see all the time, but I would like to bring a different perspective to it here. So we're going to get into it a little bit. Welcome, everyone. Hit the like button. Hola, Kimo. I see you. Nice to see you, sir. My Patreon member. Hey, Brandon. Nice to see you, Queens, New York. Oh, Deshav. Nice to see you. Kosher. Listen, Kosher Clinician, Saturday, 12 noon. Get ready, right? How does fatherlessness impact you in a relationship, man or woman? We're going to go both sides. Yeah. So Kosher Clinician, I've been watching him. I've been kind of sneaking in the comments over on his stream, getting to know what he's about. And he's a deep brother. So I say, bruh, please, doctor, please come over and let us know what you've been seeing in your practice, some of the challenges you've been seeing, and how we can learn from them. So we're going to talk about fatherlessness as it relates to healthy relationships on Saturday. Hey, Dr. Terry, Biden better pick a black woman. Okay, let's get to it. Biden better pick a black woman. I'm glad you said that, because as you may know, and if you may not know, like I said, today officially, the Supreme Court is going to be losing Justice Breyer. He is a veteran known for kind of being a kind of good centered, what should I say, swing vote, if you will. He has written some of the most influential opinions of the last 25 years when it has come to upholding the Obamacare plan, when it comes to expanding free speech. And of course, this big one, which is going to come back on the Supreme Court's docket, which is basically the load of cases that they, thank you, Sunbreeze, that they review each and every term, which starts probably, you would say they actually meet late September, but the term starts in October. So by the time the new term of the Supreme Court starts, there will be a new justice. So many are wondering who President Biden will select. Now, if you had followed some of the campaign, you will know that several times, and I'm thinking about one particular campaign stop in South Carolina, because y'all remember what happened in South Carolina when Mr. Biden was running out of steam. There was a interesting turn of events brought on by one of the most distinguished members of the House of Representatives, Mr. Clyburn. Representative Clyburn rallied the troops and kept what was an impending, what we would call it, implosion of a candidacy alive by allowing during the primaries. And this was right around end of 2019, early 2020, getting into 2020, the election season. So there was a message that was sent, I think, to President Biden, that, this is a part of your base, particularly speaking about African Americans, that pretty much kept your campaign afloat, kept you in the race, kept you pressing forward. So it is very interesting that one of the promises made during a stop there in South Carolina was that he would appoint the very first African American woman to the Supreme Court. In our nation's history, we've had 120 Supreme Court justices. Only 5 people of color, right? Excuse me, 5 women, 3 people of color. Excuse me, 5 women, 3 people of color. It's a very interesting setup in terms of equity. And there was a few commentaries I read earlier today, and let me see what y'all have to say about how, hey, Black Seinfeld, nice to see you, the makeup of the court will look, because remember, the Supreme Court is a lifetime appointment. And if it's not a life, and excuse me, unless until you retire, I should say, like Justice Breyer is doing, it's a lifetime appointment. So the folks who Donald Trump was able to appoint will keep the court right now, the way it stands, in a more conservative posture, right? That's what happened. And that's why who we vote for president matters. So right now, Justice Breyer would be considered, based on who's currently serving, one of the more liberal justices. When he first got appointed or was appointed by President Clinton in 1994, he was considered, I think, more moderate. But now with the way the court has swung to a more conservative leaning, what should I say, groupthink, it's going to matter a lot who takes his place, because remember, we have 9 justices of the Supreme Court. 6 of them are known to be, on average, very conservative in their rulings. And why does this matter? I'll get to it in a second. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to take this up another day. And then 3 right now, based on the others being so conservative, would be considered liberal, more liberal. And again, when they were appointed, they were considered moderate, right in the middle. But Justice Breyer would be one of them, Harvard Law grad, etc. And why I was so interested in this is because visiting down in South Florida, you will know certain women who are being circulated as possible, what should I say, replacements for him. There are a few from down here that I wanted to highlight, and I will not have time to highlight all of them. But there are usually, Supreme Court justices are usually taken from the appellate courts, right? So you have federal district courts, which are the lowest. And when you commit federal crimes, you go to federal court, which are the lower courts, right? District courts. And if you're even in, no matter what the state, you have district courts. It's usually by geography. We have the Northern District of Florida, Central District of Florida, and the Southern District. I'm approved to practice in the Southern District, and it covers certain counties. So we have a young jurist. She's currently on the appellate court of DC, but she is from Miami. Shout out to Miami Palmetto. Shout out to Miami Palmetto, with one of the likely finalists to be considered for this replacement. So, A, do you guys believe, put a 1 in the chat if you think President Biden will keep his word and appoint a woman who is of African-American descent. Put a 1 if you do think he's going to stay with that promise and actually follow through. Imagine that. Or do you believe that he will, thank you guys, put a 2 if you think he will appoint someone else of a different persuasion. Now, again, I know that people will say, well, why does it matter so much? Shouldn't it just be the best person for the job? And I agree with that. But I think in a time where a lot of women who were capable were kind of kept out of the conversation just because of the, what should I say, the social constructs that existed at the time. You know, there is a lot to be said about a whole nation never, ever, ever being inclusive of one of the most, what should I say, politically influential at this time subgroups within its populace. So I think not only as a political measure, when we're talking about Biden really owing a lot of, what should I say, political goodwill to African Americans for keeping his presidential run alive, I think it's also very important that we do see the moment of history that we're in, right? And will we get a chance to do this again in the next 4 years? Who knows? So there's going to be a lot of debate. One thing I'm excited about is that because Mitch McConnell changed the Senate rules in 2017 to pass all of then President Trump's nominees to only a simple majority being needed in the Senate to confirm a Supreme Court justice, the likelihood is if your boy, excuse me, Senator Joe Manchin, your boy Manchin, or Kristen Sinema decide to fall in line, they will the Democrats will not need bipartisan support. They could technically nominate and confirm a Supreme Court justice with a simple majority, which they now have. So President Biden, I only see one person saying yes and one person saying no. Thank you, Roast B. Really, Black Seinfeld, you don't think he will? Doug adds, thanks to the conservative Supreme Court judges for shooting down the dictatorial mandate for experimental job. Okay. Different opinions for different folks. And guys, I'm gonna I definitely wanted to go a little bit further into this. Thank you, Ota Chef. Does the institution change a person? Does the institution change a person? I find that no matter the best intentions, the current class of the new Congress folks, they stated they were progressive. I hear you. There is so much to be said about this person. I'm going to have to make this a part 2, guys. I didn't even get into some of the history and women who had been passed over that were African American federal judges. But again, in the time in our country, it would not have been even foreseeable. Like our grandmothers and our great grandmoms, even our mothers probably could not conceive, for some, this being a potential reality. So to look at her and to look at some of the other ones, I wanted to take some time to do some review, but you can also Google it and see some of the story because, like I said, one of the main front runners, and I want to get her first name right, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Another front runner is Leandra Kruger. And I was going to have my little PowerPoint, but you can look up the names. And Michelle Childs, they have wonderful acumen in terms of their resumes. And I love Ketanji. Like I said, she's a Miami girl, Harvard Law grad, sits on the DC Court of Appeals, and also clerked for Justice Breyer. And she's been a public defender, which I like as well. So there's so many moving parts. Justice Breyer is 83. Oh my goodness. Talk about a lifetime appointment. But many are excited that, he didn't serve until death, like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And now President Biden has an opportunity to replace him with the numbers in the Senate that can actually confirm his choice. So there's so much more I wanted to talk about in terms of Ketanji. Look up the name, and I'm going to go because 8 o'clock I'm supposed to be over on Wealth Engineering's channel. So look up the name, Constance Baker Motley. Constance Baker Motley was a Black woman federal judge at a time where the society we lived in the United States was not ready to select a Black woman to serve on the highest court. So shout out to her and the history that she created, although she never really got her shot because of the forces that be. But yeah, we got some homework to do, guys, and hopefully, we'll see history being made. President Biden said he will be proposing probably by the end of February to the Congress, to the Senate, a nominee. So we're going to check it out. We're going to see if history will be made, if we will, in fact, have the first African-American woman serving on the United States Supreme Court. I love y'all. I'm going to go. Thank you, Bedside BK, for a super chat. This short and sweet. Let's talk justice. But I'll see you guys. Come on over to Wealth Engineering. Please come on over to Wealth Engineering's channel. We're going to talk finance and personal development. Love y'all. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for your support. Come on Saturday 12. Watch live. Me and the kosher clinician talking about how fatherlessness impacts relationships. All right. Peace. Love y'all. See y'all very soon. Appreciate the super sticker to the sponsor of the stream. Thank you, Bed-Stuy BK. And I'll see you guys right over on Wealth Engineering's channel now. Y'all take care and God bless.